Hello, Ryan here, and welcome to Star Citizen Sunday. This is a weekly show which covers all of the news from the week just past. Be sure to subscribe if you like what you see, and let's get on with it. This week, the Crusader, Hercules and Nova Tonks go back on sale. We watch as developers set up an engineer's behaviour, plus Tony Zurovec's presentation is finally upon us. So this week's Inside Star Citizen began by looking at the Hercules Starlifter. It was more of an advertisement for the Starlifter, just showing it off in all of its wonderful glory. And there is some great B-roll of the Hercules, and I did learn that this central console on the bridge is actually a weapon rack, which I had no idea for. I guess that's going to be quite useful as a pilot or co-pilot, having a weapon on the bridge in case somebody attacks. But there wasn't really much else to be learned there. Next up, we took a look at the Vanduul Nova tank. Now, the lore for this tank dates back 300 years, which is one reason why they look more like our current day tanks than something more futuristic. Now, they do mention that the tank is going to be of great use protecting ground assets like bases, attacking and defending homesteads and so on, and also for theatres of war it'll be a lot of fun. They developed a new tread style of movement, and the main cannon retracts, which is what allows it to fit in ships like the Starlifter. But that was pretty much it. Not the most interesting or information-packed episode of Inside Star Citizen, but as I say, there's some great B-roll for me to use, which will see me through for a little while. But that was about it. So let us move on to Star Citizen Live. So on this week's Star Citizen Live, we got to see the process of how the AI devs build NPC behaviours. Now, they say the behaviours are the brains of the NPCs, and for this show particularly, they wanted to show us how they build the engineer's behaviour from scratch, using the many tools they have developed over the years to help speed up and simplify the process. We also got to see them applying more of these navigation meshes, which is one of the requirements to get NPCs physically moving around on a surface wherever they are, showing the tools which create the volume around the environment, which they can then decide to snap to the ground or a grid and then lay it all out. Now, these tools and methods that they have created are very clever and of huge importance to getting the AI capable of moving around planetside, doing the enormous wealth of activities required from them. Basically, it's pretty much whatever the player can do, the NPC can do as well, and vice versa. So there's a lot of things for them to hook up and get going. And this process also allows them to test out the NPC movement to ensure it all works well. Now, I personally would be very interested to see this working on a planetary scale, seeing how the AI of any kind, be that a human or an alien species or a creature, navigating around a planet's surface. That would be a great sight to see, and hopefully they'll have some demonstrations of that soon. But basically, this episode was a game dev stream where they set up an activity for the NPC engineer to do, with the engineer's job being to inspect things and see if they are in need of any maintenance. But throughout this episode, we saw them go through the process of setting up a relay for the NPC to replace a fuse on, and he does actually mention that the relay will likely be quite heavy and potentially not carryable by hand by one person. But as he says, maybe using an armor suit of some kind. Now, I'm not sure if he's aware of any type of suit that'll aid in carrying heavy objects, or if he was just talking randomness, but it does seem quite specific, so hopefully he has seen some form of Titan suit, but we don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Now, the show does go into quite a lot of depth into how they have created these systems and they hook all these actions up and what process they go through using all these tools that they have developed. So if it is something that you are interested in, then I do highly suggest watching it for yourself, as you can see the full process. But with that said, let us move on. So also this week, the Vanduul Nova Tonk and Crusader Hercules C2, M2 and A2 went back on sale. The links are in the description below if you would like to pick them up. There was also a brand new Galactopedia update, and the latest jump point is available for all subscribers. But most importantly, Tony Zurovec's presentation called Quantum Quasar and Virtual AI was released. Now, this is jam-packed full of juicy information relating to much of Star Citizen's systemic architecture, including the quantum simulation, which we saw first or initially at the 2949 CitizenCon event. Plus much more. Now, I will be breaking down what we saw, putting them into digestible videos over the next few weeks, so be sure to subscribe if that is of interest to you. It is fascinating stuff, but also quite complicated to take in, so hopefully my videos will help us all to understand it more. So that brings us to the end of the show. If you do enjoy my content, please consider subscribing and hitting that like button. Also, I am able to do this thanks to my very generous patrons and channel members. If you appreciate what I do and would like to help make it even better from as little as $1 a month, all of the links are provided below.